हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल आईएएस कमांडो। तो इस वीडियो में हम यूपीएससी 2023 के लिए प्लेसेस इन न्यूज़ देखेंगे। ऑलराइट, प्लेसेस इन न्यूज़ देखेंगे किसके लिए? यूपीएससी 2023 के लिए। तो डायरेक्टली हम अपने टॉपिक्स पे चलते हैं। देखिए, सेलाटा एक टाउन है लेबनान में। ऑलराइट, कहाँ पे है? सेलाटा एक पोर्ट टाउन है लेबनान में, जहाँ पे नेवी ने रेस्क्यू किए थे illegal migrants. So because Navy was rescuing illegal migrants there, so because of that, this town was in news. That is in Lebanon. All right. Now let's see what are other places there in news. So because Ukraine is in news because of the Russia-Ukraine war, so because of that, Donbass region is in news. Now Donbass is approximately now it is controlled by Russia. So, but in this Donbass region, uh, the famous cities are, see, this Markiva is a very famous city, which is the twin city of Donetsk. All right. So Markivka was is the city which was a center of news in especially in the month of January. All right. Besides that, besides Markiva, you must know this Mariupol, the port of Mariupol, all right, which is very important. So that is in Sea of Azov, all right, and then this place Kherson is also important, all right, and Zaporizhia is also important because it is also in news. Kharkiv, you must have heard a lot of about Kharkiv. All right, and Sumi is also important. There are other cities also which we will see in the coming slides. Also remember that there is a river, Dnipro, or the spelling is Dnipro. All right, so this river basically starts in Russia, goes through Belarus, and then it almost flows through the middle of the Ukraine, and then this river drains into Black Sea. All right. So do remember the name of this river too. Let's move on. So now Croatia has become fully integrated member of EU. All right, European Union. So now see, where is Croatia? This is Croatia. All right. This is the map of the Croatia. So you can see this is Adriatic Sea. All right. So Croatia is Croatia. The Croatia faces Adriatic Sea. All right. Now, Croatia was a member of EU from the year 2013, but now it has become fully integrated member. Why? Because now EU, the euro currency will be applicable for Croatia also. Earlier, Croatian kuna was the currency. So why it took so much time for Croatia to 10 years? Why? Because to be a member of European Union and to have euro as a currency, all right, uh, you need to have stable exchange rate, you need to control inflation, and you need to control public spending also. All right, so because there are some economic criteria that has to be fulfilled before it will be taken into European Union and euro as a currency, because the financial system of the country should be stable. All right, so this was the reason. Now let's move on. So also see what are the countries that are bordering Croatia. So you can see this is Slovenia, this is Hungary. All right. So Croatia borders Slovenia, Hungary, Serbia too, Bosnia and Herzegovina. All right, and Adriatic Sea too. Also Albania. So this is what is about the location of Croatia. Let's move on. Already we have seen that Adriatic Sea is the sea that Croatia faces on its left. Now let's move on. So now always Israel is always in news because there is always some conflict that is going on. So today we are studying about a city in the West Bank known as Jenin. So Jenin was the center of the conflict for some time because some people were killed. All right. So Jenin is inside the West Bank. All right, and West Bank is a settlement. All right, is a settlement. So this Gaza is a Palestinian settlement, and in West Bank also many Palestinian people live. All right, so this city was in news. That is in Israel, and that too inside West Bank. All right. Uh, Now we are seeing about for Philippines. All right. So in Philippines, there are province. There is this island is known as Mindanao. All right, this island is known as Mindanao, and in that island there are two provinces named Misamis Occidental and Misamis Oriental. All right, so in January, what happened that there were a lot of floods in Philippines. All right, so because of that, these provinces were totally flooded, and the flights and other things were stopped from Philippines due to the bad weather. So these islands were flooded a lot, and they were in news. Misamis Occidental and Misamis Oriental. So this was what was in news in January. You can see this entire island that is in the bottom part of the Philippines is known as Mindanao Island. All right. So let's move on. Again, we are seeing cities of Israel. All right. So see, um, you have seen West Bank. All right. So there is a Ramallah. All right, which is Palestine capital also, I think. All right, and Jericho is in like inside Israel, and you can see Bir Shava, Gaza Strip is already there, Ashdod. All right, Netanya. So these are also in Israel. You must be already knowing about the Golan Heights too. So do keep whenever you study about Israel, also do keep a note of which cities are in news because the names are getting mixed with the Arab cities also, and then uh, these are asked in news. All right, let's move on. Now see, this Nuna town is in Burkina Faso. All right. Now, obviously, these African countries, there is a lot of insurgency and militancy that is happening here, and uh, there is a group, ethnic Fulani. All right. So this group is known as Fulani. So its people were killed by the militants here. All right. So do keep in mind that for sometimes ethnicity has also been asked. All right. I think last year only. So these ethnic Fulani people, they live in Burkina Faso, all right, and this Nuna town was in news, all right. Also not that important, but do keep in mind. Now see what our nations are there. So there is a lot of small nations in this west part of the Africa, all right. So see, this is Burkina Faso, Bamako, all right, and then you have a lot of countries that are facing the Atlantic Ocean. All right, so Nigeria is there, Benin is there, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau, the Gambia, Senegal. All right, so these are Mauritania and Western Sahara too. So these are the countries that faces the Atlantic Ocean. All right, let's move on. Again, there is a Ukraine is there. All right. So we have Donetsk province and Makivka is the sister city. So do remember this also. All right. So now see, there are other cities of important also. For example, see Odessa. All right. See Lviv. All right. See Kiev. See Kharkiv. All right. So these are the places that are always in news. And do remember Sevastopol also because it is a very strategic port and it is in Black Sea. All right. So if you are seeing Mariupol, it is in Sea of Azov. All right, and if you are seeing the Sevastopol, it is in sea, in Black Sea. All right, and Sevastopol is on the island of Crimea. All right, which Russia took over in the year 2013. All right, so do keep always do keep on where the places are that are occurring on everyday news, especially in Ukraine. And then see, there is an island in Japan. This island is known as Hokkaido Island. All right. Now, what is the speciality about the Hokkaido Island? That people here are very old. All right. So, this island is also known as the Grey Island. Why? Because the people here is also very old, and they are looking for retirement, but they can't retire because there is nobody to take over their businesses. All right, so they can't sell also. So what is another thing important about upon Hokkaido Island is that it produces most of the milk of the Japan. All right, so let's move on. Now see, Mogadishu. Mogadishu is what I think it is the capital of Somalia. So what was important here? Again, there is some rebel group that has insurgency. All right. So because of that, um, there were bombings and suicide core bombings, and because of that this place was in news, Mogadishu. All right, do remember Somalia's capital. Let's move on. Now see, in Mexico there is a province called Sinaloa. All right. So this Sinaloa place was in news. Why? Because of the drug cartels. All right. You know that Mexico is very famous for drug cartels. So because of that, and this place was in news. Sinaloa is a province of Mexico. All right, and in that also this Culiacan town was in news, but then they won't ask because they basically ask the places where there are extreme conflict, and Mexico, these places are not been asked so often. All right, and so let's move on. Now see, in Indonesia, on the upper tip of this island, all right, Indonesian island, there is a province called Aceh, all right, Aceh or Ace. So why this province was in news? Because uh, Rohingya refugees from Myanmar do arrive here, all right. So do remember this province name also. Let's move on. And then Bakhmut is also a place that is in news in Ukraine. Why? Because it was bombed. So any place in Ukraine is in news nowadays. Why? Because it was bombed. So Bakhmut is a place. All right. It is also in the Donetsk region. It was bombed. All right. So do keep that in mind. So, this was just a small part of the places in news. We'll be having more and more lectures on places in news for UPSC 2023. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. All right, and press the like button if you like this video. And then we'll continue this series. All right, thank you so much for the discussion and all the best to all the UPSC aspirants.